Okay, let's see who we're going to do next for August. Check the description box for everything you need to know. Cancer. Cancer, it's your turn. Yeah, that's better. Cancer, it's your turn for your August 2025. Whoa, weird. 2025 reading. Well, I'm doing a new spread called The Tower that I kind of like conceptualized in my head, and I've got it kind of like on a chart behind on the wall behind the camera. But please, again, this, if you're here, it's probably because this is your sun sign. If you don't know your rising moon or Venus sign, there is a link in the description box for where you can go to figure out what your rising moon and Venus sign are. You do need to know what time you were born. Sorry, there's one thing about like right here on my hair that's bugging me. So one sec. I don't know if I fixed it. Totally didn't fix it. Anyway, there is a place where you can go so that you can yeah, this is gonna be a pain in my ass, so that you can find out your rising moon and Venus sign. I will say though, although it is extremely comprehensive, you do need to know the time that you were born so that you can nail down what your rising sign is, because that does change approximately every 2 hours on the day that you were born. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to do this new spread. We're going to start with your magnetic poetry message, followed by the spread itself. We're going to use the tarot of the Enchanted Garden for you. And then we're going to get you some no BS advice using the Rebel deck, the Rebel Oracle deck. So let's go ahead and let's get started for you. Cancer. Magnetic poetry messages. Get out a pad and a pen or pencil so that you can jot these down. You can always pause the video, and that'll help you to kind of write everything down, because I'm not going to like make the messages. I'm just going to put them in list format, the words in list format for you. And then you can go ahead and you can do what you need to do to descramble them however you want. There's an S. There's an initial there. It's pretty good. There you go. Jot those down and make a little list so you can kind of figure out what makes sense to you, descramble them, you know, and just hit the pause button, because I'm going to move on to the cards themselves for the spread. Now, just while I'll just talk so that you have an opportunity here with these. Basically, the concept of the spread is that it's almost as if it's a structure of sorts, and of course, this is only for August, but it basically looks like the structure of a tower. And each position will have a descending number of cards. And it's supposed to be about the foundation, and then another level, and then another level, and then another level, until we get to the key point, the main point of the spread. And this is either going to be surprise to you, unexpected stuff, or stuff that maybe might make sense to you. But we're starting with the foundation. So, yeah. Just going to shuffle up the cards here before we get started. If I do get any messages, I'll let you know. I usually get those by way of ringing in my ears, or, you know, just, sometimes I visualize stuff, but usually it's ringing in my ears. So, yeah. So as I shuffle, we're going to talk about, Sorry, sometimes this happens with the lighting in here. Basically, the way it works is that with the first line that we're going to do, it's going to be what is stable for you, or what your foundation is of your tower itself. What are you laying your bricks upon? Is it a shaky foundation? Is it a firm foundation? And what is the foundation that you're laying everything on right now? Should be 5 cards. Because I only take flippers and jumpers, it might be 6. I think both Sag and Leo, who are the signs that I did before you, they ended up with 6 cards in their foundation each. One more. This is one of the decks that I got in January. It's a good deck. Twist for Fairness. Okay. Try and get a sip of coffee if it's not too hot. Okay. All right. Let's get started for you. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is your foundation? So we have, first off, the Four of Swords in the reverse there for you. Interestingly enough, this is... no, it's not. Okay. Four of Swords. I believe this is one of the cards that Leo had, but this isn't the same deck, so, and I can't remember if it's the same position, which is why I paused. Four of Swords in the reverse, coming out of a meditative state, arising from that rest and rejuvenation that comes after the heartbreak of the Three of Swords. What else do we have in the foundation for you? But it's arising from it, you know. It's finally... being ready to move on and move forward after having to take the rest, take the relaxation piece, meditate on something to gain deeper insight. What else is in your foundation? Flipper. Okay, so we have the Sun card. Leo energy. It could be a Leo, Sag, cusp individual, but it's in the reverse, which means it could be an Aquarian card if we're looking at timings. Not having a wish granted for you, and maybe that's what the thing was that you were initially meditating on, that you've now kind of gotten over, gotten past. Not having received a wish being granted, but also being kept in the dark. Being kept in the dark about something. I'm also hearing where the sun doesn't shine. So almost like a dishonorable energy, or something being kind of like sorry, I'm not laughing at you, I just heard it. Being kicked where the sun doesn't shine. Yeah, so it's emerging from the meditative state. So where normally it would be as in response to the Three of Swords, going into that Four of Swords and then emerging from it. This isn't in response to the Three of Swords. It's in response to the Sun in the reverse. Not having a wish granted, feeling like you're being kept in the dark, feeling like you were kicked in the nuts, for lack of a better term. But also the cold instead of the warmth. What else? There we go. Pages. So this is the Page of Pentacles for you. It could be... Sorry, I just have to get used to these little emblems at the bottom. Page of Pentacles. In the upright, this is a gift of some sort. It's almost like not receiving a wish being granted was a gift, if I want to get direct translation on this. Do you know what I mean? Or like, you know, that feeling of, you know, like getting like the punch in the nuts, the kick in the nuts. is a gift in and of itself. This could also be a timepiece, peace offering, a tangible, a message that is about something tangible or something that you can take away that's tangible in a situation, like a tangible takeaway from a communication of sorts. Sometimes I even hear it directly, well, for what it's worth, or, you know, it's worth a shot, those types of things. I'm seeing this as a gift. It was a blessing in disguise that you didn't have a wish granted. And that's actually something that you learned while you were in the meditative state here. Something that you learned while you were in the meditative state, now that you're able to take stock, having emerged from it, is that not having a wish granted to you actually was a blessing in disguise. It was the gift. What else? Foundation for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Sorry. Yeah, allergies are super awesome right now. More the tree allergies, because the grass is kind of like all yellow. Am I kidding? Seriously, I was trying to avoid saying anything about Coldplay for anything. I just heard it and it was all yellow. And it was all yellow. This is, yeah. It's actually one of my least favorite Coldplay songs. I don't like a lot of Coldplay. I'm very selective with what the Coldplay I like. But that's because I'm a massive Radiohead fan. And I kind of feel like Coldplay rips Radiohead off. But that's because I've, listened to Radiohead since, 1995. So, anyway. Here we go. Okay, the World card. Completions, endings. Okay, so something that it's like you didn't receive your wish. This is also completion, wholeness. But the gift was an ending. And you thought at the time that it was the furthest from what you wanted. Like you didn't get the wish, and the wish was that something was going to stay together or never end. And the gift was the ending, because without the ending, you wouldn't have been able to become whole in some way. Fixed energy of Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, or Aquarius on this. So it could have been something that ended during a Leo season, an Aquarius season, because of that sun card there. And lastly, for your foundation, it was all yellow. I keep hearing that. I just heard it again. Devil card in the reverse. This may have been, or I'm sorry, no, the Tower. This was shocking. So there's your Tower in the upright. And then the reverse, though, there is somewhat of a house being turned upside down feeling on this one, I'm getting. You turn the house upside down. Somebody turned the house upside down looking for something. It's interesting that I'm getting this. Somebody turned the house upside down looking for something. Or it turns somebody's world on its head. But it wasn't the calamity that you might think it was, because this is in the reverse. It may have also been that the Tower collapsing was something that was seen. You could see it coming. Scorpio energy again. I might have said that already. A lot of fixed energy in this foundation. So there's a feeling here as if the foundation that you have built everything on up to this point was all stuff that was immovable or like you never expected it would ever change. Very traditionalist beliefs. Things that don't budge, never change. But then they do change. And maybe it was for the best that they did. Just kind of looking at these here. And the wish not coming to fruition. And that there was a gift that came out of the ending. Now, next position that we're going to read for here is your opportunities and your challenges. So basically your doors and your windows, if you will. Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. There we go. So first we had the Six of Swords in the upright. I believe that's the swords. Yes, it is. Six of Swords in the reverse. Sorry. Six of Swords in the reverse. So it's a return to the scene of a crime as opposed to moving on. Your challenge is moving forwards. This is somebody who tends to have trouble getting in the boat and going across the water to places of greater promise. They can't leave things behind that no longer serve them. They have a hard time letting go. That's what the reversal of this is, the Six of Swords. Because the guy in the upright, he can go overseas. He can travel. This is also no trip over water, no trip over seas, no travel, no reprieve, no escape, no movement forward. So do remember that this being the position of opportunities and challenges, your doors, your windows, the shut doors, the open windows, etc., etc. Having this in the reverse signifies that we have somebody here who's experiencing an inability to move on, or experiences repeatedly an inability to move forward in their lives. They consistently look backwards. They don't know how to let go in order to pursue what is meant for them. It's that old adage of letting go of things that no longer serve you and moving forward. This challenge is not letting go of things. Because when you're in a boat and you don't let go of things that weigh you down, what ends up happening? The boat ends up capsizing, right? That's more about your opportunities and challenges, the doors and the windows. Okay, somebody may also be embarrassed about contracts falling through. Sometimes I think this is also a matter of perspective, though. When something doesn't pan out as far as an offer, a contract, a friendship, is that working to your advantage or to your detriment? Because sometimes the offer falling through, the contract being broken, the friendship that requires boundaries being set, or somebody overstepping your boundaries in friendships, those things falling apart or falling through are actually to your benefit. So it's a matter of perspective in that regard. At the same time, there may be an opportunity for you to examine where you're contributing too much to one of the three aspects of self. There's an imbalance of sorts when it comes to that, it seems. All your cards are tending to shift this way, like they're all shifting this way, and I keep having to straighten them. So again, I think that's interesting because we were just talking about how there's a focus on the past, or not being able to let things go, or always repeating history type thing. I'm seeing that here because all the cards keep trying to shift this way. You'll see it, I promise you, because it'll probably happen again. What else? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, your opportunities and challenges during this time. August, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Ain't no bias here, by the way. Just for full clarity, I'm a Cancer moon. And I was born during a full moon. Five of Wands, conflict. Again, I do want you to examine for yourself that this is a matter of perspective. Conflict can sometimes be a benefit. Conflict can also, obviously, most people don't want to encounter situations where people are beating each other over the heads with sticks. But it is what it is. It can be a challenge if you are consistently engaging in conflict and are considered argumentative as a result. But at the same time, if you're willing to face conflict head on and you're courageous in being able to evaluate your role in that, then it can be to your benefit, right? So, what else? A rule of 3. I didn't want to drop that many, but I have to take them because I always take 3. If they drop, I'll take up to 3. So remember, I keep on saying matter of perspective. Well, guess who came to visit? Hanged Man. In the reverse, Piscean energy on this. So you do have the ability to see things from all sides. You know, this is the need to see things from all sides. This is when you've achieved perspective or have the ability to see things from all sides. With that, one sec. With that, sorry, we have the 10 of Wands in the reverse and the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is the ability to bring yourself rather easily out of a victimhood mindset. The ability to, and I think that's because of your perspective. It's all about perspective. That's actually literally what it says here. It's all about perspective. You can see your burdens as burdens, or you can lighten your load rather quickly by evaluating what it is that you should and should not be carrying, and act accordingly, rather. But then also with it, we have here where one might feel like they're locked out from the church and stuck in the cold, but they choose to exercise empowerment and realize the role that they're playing that's keeping them stuck outside in the cold, bringing themselves in from the cold, seeing how they can change their own circumstances. It's all about perspective. So one can sit there and say, I'm so cold and downtrodden and excluded, or one can exercise empowerment, change the way they view their situation or the entire reality of their situation based on sometimes the attitude itself, but it is a matter of perspective. And I think that's an opportunity for you. It's and not a challenge, but like not like that double entendre, like not double entendre, but like not the double meaning of the word opportunity. It really is something of a highlight for you, something that you're good at, as opposed to an obstacle. Alrighty. Let's move forward. Let's look at your staircases, or your, so I called this one staircases, and it's really route markers, but it's about the next steps that you're going to be taking during August, Cancer. It's route markers, if you will. 3 cards for this one, Cancer. And these staircases are going to lead to the next position. So what we see here is going to lead to either a basement or a balcony, if you will. Thus far, we have the Queen of Swords in the upright with the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. I want to speak on that while I'm shuffling. Something about balance, equilibrium, justice, and fairness has to do with Libra energy or Libra time frame. So around mid-September to mid-October. But it's about fairness and justice and balance and truth. It does have to do with spending. Spending too much. Fairness and justice and equilibrium when it comes to where one splurges. Tell me more. Tell me more. There will be an offer or a contract, a new beginning of promise that may see you having called to invest more of your time, energy, or effort, or even a small monetary investment that heralds the start of a new tangible beginning, something that you can put your, it's like something where you can put your money where your mouth is. Because and it's actually a bit of a rescuer thing here for you, because you do have this right here, which is where you're feeling as if you're being, you know, you're paying the piper for all of the spend energy here. This is somebody who spends a lot, splurges a lot, and you're being called to bring that back into balance. But there's also something about justice and fairness here and truth. So you're being honest with yourself. You're being true to yourself with this. However, at the same time, you also have this new thing here, this Ace of Pentacles. The beginning of a tangible new offer. It's a path to a promise. It's like the yellow brick road should be kind of painted in there, I feel like. And then it's almost like from the divine. It's a handout from the divine, you could see it as. Yeah. You might actually see a coin. Coins could be of significance to you as special signs and symbols. But there might be one in particular that seems to be heralding a path for you in August 1st, 14th, or 5th time frame. Could also be during September, October 14th, 5th, 1st. But let's look forward. Sorry, sometimes the light does weird things with this. I think it's with my new phone that it does it. And I have my laptop. It's not my new laptop. My laptop did get fixed. I just don't know if I want to use my webcam on there just yet. So, excuse me. Oh, Jesus. Now we're looking at the depths and heights. This is the staircase. These are the next steps, and these are the route markers for what you're being led to, which is either the basement or the balcony. So let's see. I hope you're sticking with me. You're following me on the symbolism here. So, hang on. Basement or the balcony. The spotlights for you. For Cancer. Oh, I don't want to drop them. It's a big chunk of cards to drop. Okay. Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Show us what the spotlights are. Basement, balcony. What are they? Okay, we got 1, Eight of Wands, messages, communication. There's going to be communication of some sort coming to you. I feel like these are originating from the ground and pointed towards the sky as opposed to coming from the sky. That kind of seems to me as if there's a letter that's coming to you, a written communication that's coming to you, instead of digital communication, which is interesting. I feel like it's handwritten or printed on paper. Letter mail. Something written down left for you. What else? Balcony or basement. So that's either a high or a low, but it's a spotlight and it's something that you're led to from these next steps, the stairway, the 3 cards that precede it with those route markers. You follow the route markers. Where does it lead you, right? To the written letter, the written communication. And then also the Knight of Coins. Slow, strategic, methodical action with a tangible material piece, like a material aspect attached to it. Something that you can actually, something you can bank on. Something you can bank on. It's all upper echelon stuff for you. It's nothing that's below. Unless these are originating from below. If this was coming up from the basement. Like the boogeyman under the bed. But seems like there's communication about an offer. Something that's worthy of your time. It is strategic and methodical, or something that you've been traveling towards in a strategic, methodical, plotting speed. Virgo. From a Virgo or Leo, Virgo cusp individual, because we have the 8 there. So from a Leo, Virgo cusp individual. Could also be Leo, Virgo cusp season, where this communication is coming, and it's something that somebody's been taking their time and analyzing before going ahead and moving on it, because they wanted it to be, precise, like just for precision. But they wanted it to have precision aesthetics to it, which is not, doesn't seem the right way to put it, but they wanted the optics to be those of precision. They wanted it to be right. Key point for you. The overall key point. The flag at the very top of the tower. The thing that's waving itself. Like, notice me, this is the big thing. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Okay. Ace of Cups in the reverse. Okay. Perhaps this isn't the time for you to look for renewal in a current relationship or beginnings of an emotional sense in other relationships or new relationships, what have you. It's basically, it's a time for you to be focusing on your time, your energy, your efforts, your coin. And in addition to that, the self. Your self-worth. Concentrate on that piece. Concentrate on your prosperity and your ability to stand on your own 2 feet, your independence. Because right now it doesn't seem as if you have a good sense of that based on this foundation and moving up the tower. As we climb up the tower, your self-worth seems to come from each external factors. Like you're gaining validation from monetary means, or from things that's like external sources, as opposed to from within. Thank you, that's better. Okay. Let's get you some no bullshit advice from the Rebel Oracle deck. Whoa, that's interesting. They wanted to throw the whole deck at you. They got a lot to say to you. Somebody has a lot to say to you. They got a bone to pick with you. They got a bone to pick with you. That's a phrase that's very poignant. I got a bone to pick with you. That's not like a super old-fashioned saying. I got a bone. Listen, I got a bone to pick with you. You know, this, and this. That's like such an old school thing to say. It's like working at the complaint department at like Woolco. Does anybody remember Woolco? You have to be pretty effing old to remember shit like that. Anyway. It's a place that they used to sell wool. And I think Walmart took it over in Canada. Yeah. I assume by the name that they used to sell wool there when it was first incepted, but it was like a department store in Canada. One more. Something about Woolco. Why did that have to come up? Fuck. Okay, no bullshit advice for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Oh, we got one right away. Okay. Step away from the crazy-making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate, beer. Get some. I mean, I don't know. You know, the older I get, sweet things don't really appeal to me as much as they used to. Yeah. I can't drink beer anymore either. It's a gluten thing. But anyway, that's what I have for you. So, do this if this made sense to you, if anything kind of rang true. And subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. I am doing weekly videos now, just shorts, because you have to do shorts if you have a channel and you want to do anything with it. And I'm actually getting quite a lot of positive feedback on those. So, yeah, we'll see when we see you next. Thanks for watching. Bye now.